All right, welcome back to the deep dive. You know how this works. You guys send us stuff you're curious about, and we try to break it down, get to the good stuff. And today's deep dive is inspired by a video one of you sent from Health Guide on YouTube. This one is all about those like telltale signs, the ones that can maybe give you a hint about lifespan after 65, scientifically backed stuff.
Yeah. It's like, can we peek into the future a little bit?
Right.
But more importantly, how can we use those hints to really shape those years ahead, right? Not just, oh, this is going to happen, but what can I do about it? That's the exciting part, I think.
Exactly. It's all about taking control. We're not talking crystal ball predictions here. It's about recognizing patterns observed in people who live those long, healthy lives. So we're going to go through 8 signs, starting with some that you might not think of right away, and then getting to the, well, maybe more obvious ones. Let's jump in with sign number 8. Sleep.
All right, so the Health Guide video starts off strong, saying how your sleep quality, especially after 70, it's a major factor in how long you live. Now, obviously, sleep, it makes you feel less tired, but it does so much more. It's like when your cells get to repair themselves, your immune system kind of resets. Even your brain gets a good cleaning, getting rid of all the junk that builds up during the day.
It's like your body's overnight cleaning crew, right? They were talking about these two guys, Henry and Bill, both in their 70s. Henry, he's got a good routine going lights out at the same time each night, gets a solid 7 hours, wakes up feeling like $1,000,000. Then there's Bill, tossing and turning all night, can't fall asleep, can't stay asleep, and just dragging himself through the day.
And that difference in their sleep, it really shows up in their health. Henry, with this good sleep, everything's working pretty smoothly. He's sharp as a tack, got energy to spare. Bill, on the other hand, well, he's got that brain fog, tired all the time. Even his blood pressure's all over the place.
So think about your own sleep for a second. Are you waking up a lot during the night? Do you struggle to get back to sleep? Do you feel exhausted even after you thought you got enough rest? It's tempting to just brush it off as part of getting older, but it might be telling you something important.
And what's interesting is that, bad sleep rarely happens on its own. It's often tied to other things going on, like are you stressed out? What are you eating? Are you moving your body enough? Maybe there's even something going on that you haven't gotten checked out, like sleep apnea. That's why paying attention to those sleep patterns is so important.
But here's the good news. You're not stuck with bad sleep. The video had some really practical tips, like try cutting back on screen time before bed. I know, easier said than done. Also, try to stick to a regular sleep schedule, get some sunshine in the morning to reset your body clock, and maybe skip that late night snack. Simple stuff, but it can make a big difference.
When you think about it, getting good sleep consistently, it's not just about feeling good the next day. It's about setting yourself up for good physical and mental health as you get older. Ignoring those sleep problems, that can really catch up with you down the road, impacting how long and how well you live. Okay, let's shift gears now. Sign number 7, balancing on one leg.
Okay, now this one surprised me. Balance. I wouldn't have thought that would be linked to lifespan, but apparently it's a pretty big deal. Being able to stand on one leg for 10 seconds, that's actually a good sign.
It makes you think, right? Why is something so simple so important? Turns out, studies show a pretty strong connection between bad balance and falling, which obviously can lead to some nasty injuries, especially as we get older. But it goes even deeper. Research is starting to find a link between balance problems and problems with thinking and memory, too. And the flip side is that if you can maintain good balance as you age, that's often seen in people who live longer, healthier lives.
They use this example in the video, Carol and Nancy, both in their early 70s. Carol, she's always been active, loves her walks and yoga, can stand on one leg like it's nothing. Then there's Nancy. She hasn't really focused on this, and just lifting one foot off the ground makes her feel wobbly.
What Nancy's going through, it might be more than just feeling a little unsteady. That difficulty with balance could be a sign that her coordination is starting to decline, her muscles are weakening, especially in her legs and core, and it could even be a sign that her brain isn't processing information about where she is in space as well as it used to. You see, good balance, it doesn't just happen. It takes strong legs, a nervous system that's firing on all cylinders, and a healthy brain to put it all together.
So how do you know if your balance needs some attention? Well, the video mentioned things like tripping or stumbling more often, feeling unsteady when you turn quickly, or finding yourself reaching for walls or furniture for support. These are the things we often dismiss, but they are really important to pay attention to.
The good news is that balance, it's a skill, and like any skill, you can get better with practice. The video suggests adding some simple exercises into your day. Things like standing on one foot for a little bit at a time, walking heel to toe, or even trying something like Tai Chi, which is all about slow, controlled movements.
You know what? They even challenged the viewers to try the 10-second one-leg test right then and there. Might be a little wobbly at first, but hey, that's the point, right? It's about building that stability so you can stay active and independent. Okay, moving right along to sign number 6, grip strength.
Now, this one might seem a little out of left field, but apparently that simple act of shaking someone's hand can actually tell you a lot about their health. The video talked about research that shows how strong your grip is, particularly in older adults, can be a really good indicator of your overall vitality. A good, firm handshake that often means you've got strong muscles, good blood flow, and a nervous system that's working well.
I know, right? It's funny how something so small can be so revealing. They were saying how a weaker grip could actually be a sign that you're losing muscle mass throughout your body, which is called sarcopenia. And that, unfortunately, can make you frail and more susceptible to all sorts of health problems.
They illustrated it with these two guys, Robert and Walter, both 78. Robert, he's still got that vice grip handshake, super active, lifts weights, no problem opening jars or carrying groceries. Walter, on the other hand, he's noticed that everyday stuff like that is getting tougher, and he just figured it was because he was getting older.
But the video really emphasized that it's not something to just accept. That weaker grip could be a sign that you're losing muscle all over, not just in your hands. And less muscle, well, that makes you more likely to fall, get injured, and it can even impact how long you live.
And that's because your hand strength, it often reflects the health of your muscles everywhere. If your grip is getting weaker, chances are the muscles in your legs, back, everywhere are also getting weaker. And the less muscle you have, the harder it is to stay independent and active as you age.
Thankfully, just like balance, you can improve your grip strength too. They suggested some easy things like squeezing a tennis ball regularly, using those hand grip strengthener gadgets, or even lifting some light weights. Easy to incorporate into your daily routine.
So, for everyone listening, think about your own grip strength. Have you noticed any changes lately? Are everyday tasks becoming harder? It's worth paying attention to because how strong your grip is today can actually provide some clues about your future health. All right, let's move on to sign number 5, walking speed.
All right, this one really intrigued me. The video said that when you hit 70, one of the strongest predictors of your lifespan isn't your genes, your medical history, or even what you eat, it's how fast you walk. They said older adults who can keep up a good, brisk pace tend to live longer than those who walk more slowly.
It sounds a little strange at first, but when you think about it, your walking speed, it's connected to so much going on inside your body. It reflects how fit you are, how strong your leg muscles are, how well your heart and lungs are working, even how well your brain is coordinating everything. It's pretty amazing when you think about it.
They used these two guys as an example, Joe and Frank, both 75. Joe, he makes a point of walking every morning at a good clip, sails through crosswalks and upstairs, moves smoothly and easily. Frank, he slowed down quite a bit, needs to stop and rest during walks, sometimes feels a little off balance.
So Joe's quick walking pace, that probably means his muscles, bones, heart, lungs, everything is in pretty good shape. But Frank's slower pace, well, that could be a sign that something's not quite right. It might not just be age, it could be weak leg muscles, problems with blood flow, even early signs of something neurological. You know, like the video said, your legs are your foundation, and if they're not strong, it can affect your whole body.
But once again, there's good news. You can actually improve your walking speed no matter what your age. The more you walk, the stronger your legs get. They recommended starting gradually, maybe walking more often or for longer periods, adding some light weights while you walk, or doing some leg strengthening exercises at home.
It's something you can easily track and actively work on, and it can really make a difference in your long-term health. Okay, let's move on to sign number 4, appetite and eating habits.
This is an important one, especially as we get older. The video pointed out that if you notice a big drop in your appetite, it might not be a coincidence. It could be a sign of something else going on, like digestive problems, changes in hormones, or even early signs of cognitive decline.
And not eating enough, well, that can really take a toll on your body, especially as you get older. Your body might start breaking down muscle for energy, which can make you weak and frail and increase your risk of falls and illness. The video emphasized that eating well after 70 isn't just about feeling full, it's about making sure you're getting all the nutrients your body needs to stay strong and healthy.
And their advice was pretty straightforward, but important. Focus on whole, nutrient-rich foods, stay hydrated, and don't ignore a shrinking appetite. It might be your body trying to tell you something.
So think about your own eating habits. Are you still enjoying your meals? Are you getting enough protein, fiber, and healthy fats to fuel your body? Or have you noticed that you're just not that hungry anymore and you feel tired all the time? How you eat today, that has a huge impact on how strong and independent you'll be in the future. Let's move on to sign number 3, handling stress.
This one, it's something we all deal with, but how well you manage stress, especially after 65, can really play a role in how long you live. They were saying chronic stress, that constant feeling of being overwhelmed, it doesn't just affect your mood, it actually weakens your immune system, makes you more likely to have heart problems, and can even speed up the aging process at a cellular level. On the other hand, people who are good at handling stress, they tend to stay healthier, more active, and mentally sharper for longer.
In the video, they contrasted 2 guys, John and Richard, both 76. John, he faces challenges, but he stays calm and collected. He does mindfulness exercises, stays connected with friends and family, doesn't let setbacks get him down. Richard, he's constantly stressed out, worries about everything, gets overwhelmed by little things, just stuck in that negative thinking loop.
And all that stress, it does a number on your body. It can raise your blood pressure, mess with your sleep, just zap your energy. And the worst part is chronic stress leads to inflammation throughout your body. And that's been linked to so many age-related diseases, from brain problems to heart disease.
It's a reminder not to brush off those feelings of tension, irritability, or just feeling emotionally drained. Learning how to manage stress, whether it's through mindfulness, exercise, deep breathing, or even just doing things that make you laugh, that can actually help you live longer.
They asked a really thought-provoking question. When you hit a roadblock, do you adjust and move on, or do you get stuck in that stress spiral? Staying calm and focused on what you can control, that's not just good for your mental health, it's essential for your physical health and longevity. Now, for sign number 2, breathing.
We breathe all the time, right? It's automatic. But apparently, how well you breathe, it can have a big impact on how long you live. It affects how much oxygen gets to your organs, which influences everything, your energy levels, how well your brain works, even the health of your heart and blood vessels.
Makes sense, right? Oxygen, it's what keeps our bodies running. And the video said that people with better lung capacity and healthy breathing habits, they tend to live longer lives. On the flip side, not getting enough oxygen, that can lead to cognitive decline, heart problems, and just feeling tired all the time.
They talked about a few signs that your breathing might not be as good as it could be. Things like getting out of breath easily, even with light activity, taking short, shallow breaths instead of nice, deep ones, even snoring or having sleep apnea, which disrupts your breathing at night.
They compared 2 guys, John and Mark, both in their mid-70s. John, he practices deep breathing, the kind where you use your diaphragm, so he gets plenty of oxygen, feels energized, and his mind is sharp. Mark, he's gotten into the habit of shallow breathing without even realizing it. He gets winded easily, doesn't have much stamina, and has trouble sleeping soundly.
The great thing is you can actually train yourself to breathe better. The video recommended simple things like focusing on breathing from your diaphragm, doing specific breathing exercises. There's one called the 4-7-8 technique that's supposed to be getting regular exercise to strengthen your breathing muscles, and of course, not smoking and staying away from polluted air as much as possible.
It's a reminder to pay attention to your breath. Are you constantly feeling out of breath? Are your breaths short and shallow? Are you having any sleep problems that might be related to your breathing? It might be time to focus on improving your breathing because, like they said in the video, getting enough oxygen is absolutely essential for a long and healthy life. And finally, we've reached sign number 1, social connections.
This one might seem a bit less tangible than the others, but the video emphasized that having strong social connections, it's one of the most important predictors of how long you'll live after 70. People who have close relationships with friends, family, or even just within their community, they tend to live longer and healthier lives.
It's kind of surprising, right? You'd think your physical health would be the top predictor, but the video made it clear that loneliness and social isolation, they're actually linked to some serious health risks. Heart disease, depression, even cognitive decline and early death.
They told the stories of 2 women, Eleonora and Barbara, both 78. Eleonora, she has a full social life, keeps in touch with old friends, belongs to a book club, loves spending time with her family. She enjoys talking to people, laughing, feeling like she belongs. Barbara, she mostly stays home, lost touch with a lot of friends over the years. She has family but doesn't reach out much, and she's started feeling isolated, which unfortunately has coincided with some health problems.
And it's not just about having someone to lean on, although that's important too. Social connections, they actually directly impact your physical health. Interacting with other people keeps your brain active, helps protect you from the harmful effects of stress, and even triggers the release of those feel-good chemicals in your brain.
So, for all of you listening, if you find yourself pulling away from social activities or spending more and more time alone, it might be time to make an effort to connect with others. It doesn't have to be anything big. Even small things like calling an old friend, joining a group that interests you, or just making an effort to have more meaningful conversations with the people you do see, that can all make a difference.
The takeaway from the video was really powerful. The relationships you build and nurture today, they don't just enrich your life now, they can actually help you live a longer, healthier life.
So let's do a quick recap of what we've learned from this deep dive into the Health Guide video. We've explored 8 scientifically backed signs that can provide clues about your lifespan after 65. Your sleep patterns, your ability to balance on one leg, your grip strength, how fast you walk, your appetite and eating habits, how well you handle stress, your breathing quality, and the strength of your social connections.
It's pretty incredible, right? These seemingly simple things can actually tell us so much about our health and how well we're aging.
But the most encouraging thing to remember is that most of these factors are within your control. It's not about accepting some predetermined fate. You have the power to make positive changes through the choices you make every single day.
Absolutely. So think about which of these areas you might want to focus on. Maybe it's walking more briskly, doing some strength training, making sleep a priority, reconnecting with friends and family, or learning new ways to manage stress. Little changes can make a big difference in the long run.
And remember, living a long life, it's not just about reaching a certain age. It's about living those years to the fullest, feeling good, and enjoying life. Consider how these insights can help you create a future that's not just longer, but also richer and more fulfilling.
Great stuff. Thanks for joining us for another deep dive. We'll catch you next time.